All right, everyone, hello and welcome to the post-Indianapolis Motor Speedway HRL recaps. This is round number 5, second Triple Crown on the season. Big race in the season for us, and let's go through it. So yeah, this is a pretty cheesy one. This track, super huge. It's the biggest. I was gonna say hog, but not just like hog, just oval in general. That we've ever raced on, probably, even with the goose. I mean, yeah, probably that I can think of. Track's massive. But it's also very fast, very tight, very easy for some wall contacts and some aggressive driving to happen. So, but it was a fun one, and definitely fun motos to watch back. But let's go through it. So the heat races, we've taken the first heat. Slaunch taken heat number 2, puts them on the front row. Where interestingly, they with the one penalty coming in for Camby, that's where they end up finishing as well, even though they swapped around a bit throughout the race. In Moto 1, so the top 3, Luke, Slaunch, Camby. For Moto 1, Moto 2, no penalties dished out on that one. For Moto 2, it was Luke, Camby this time, 1-2, and then Soul taking 3rd in that one. Soul's been pretty solid on the oval so far, but a rough start to the night on this one, but a strong finish, because we go over to Moto 3, where he ends up taking the Moto win there. Had a really nice drive to the front, somewhere with like 10 laps to go-ish, somewhere around there. Might have even been like about halfway through the race. Was able to take the lead from Hunter, I want to say. Got a nice lead there, and then kind of just didn't look back. Had a really nicely timed caution, too. Didn't have to worry about any green-white checkered or anything like that. Yeah, just got the lead at the end, or got the lead halfway through, got that caution at the end, and held on to it. So he takes that. Camby takes another second place. So Camby just very strong on the night. Got to give him credit here. This is probably Camby's strongest hog night overall, easily. I mean, he got the one moto win in the rallycross race, but this was easily his strongest run, I think, across an entire night. It's not even close either. Like, I've been saying it too, whole season's been coming together, but this one was very good for him. Detail taking 3rd here, had a couple penalties dished out. Get conked Roman, get conked Hunter for Moto 3, but overall not that bad. And we updated it on the docs too, so you can see, if anybody wants to see for these, there's a whole penalty doc where you can see the explanation for those, and then you can also mouse over it on the results and see that as well. So that's been added. So let's go through the overall finishing order. So Luke, Camby, and Soul is the top 3 for this one, 46, 44, and 40. Then 4th and 5th going to be Detail 38, Slaunch with 36, Roman 35, Armada 35, Coop 27, Hunter 26. Very close here for these guys. Very close here as well. But definitely more points gains than we saw in Little Texas, and obviously I think the extra moto helps with that. But that being said, people were also more consistent. The most consistent on the night is honestly Camby. Just wasn't able to get on the top step, but he's probably the most consistent. There you go. There's results. Look at that aside there too. Let's go over to the points. Some fun stuff to look at. So obviously it's still pretty early in the season. I know it doesn't seem like that 5 rounds in, but you got to think. We still have another 2 Triple Crowns. We still have another 10 rounds total. There's a lot of motos left. There's over 20 motos left still. What is it, like 20, 22? Should be. Quick maths. But yeah, lots of racing left to go. So even though we've done quite a bit, still plenty more to do. But this still gives us a good look at the points so far. So Luke with the lead, 184, and now Detail with the solid 2nd place, running as well with 164. Oh, and then another thing to keep in mind too is that there'll probably be a decent chunk of mulligans for this series as well, with how long it is. And obviously none of those are, it's too early for that, right? So none of those factoring in yet, but that's another thing to think about too. You know, just a little too early for it, but something to think about once we get to the end. What I want to highlight though in the points is this. With Soul and Camby having such a strong performance, this 3, 4, 5, 6 is really closing in on each other, and Slaunch and Roman have been very close what feels like the entire season, and that continues, just 1 point between them here. But now Soul and Camby having a really good night, Camby especially, and then Soul really bringing it together at the end. They get a lot of points gains there too, and look at this. It's -31 For Slaunch, negative 38 for Camby, 7 points. 7 points from Camby to Slaunch here from 3rd to 6th. So this is pretty exciting. I mean, if this could be like a 4-way 3rd place battle, that'd be pretty sick. And you got to think too, Camby with like the lag outs on Little Texas, Camby could have been like here already with the lag outs on Little Texas. Like those were kind of brutal for him. Pretty crazy to think that he could, without those, he could legit like be there already. But yeah, I've been saying it from the first round. Camby's been looking better in this IndyHog season, and I mean, the numbers support it. These guys have all gotten that moto win. He wasn't able to get it at Indy, but I mean, the way he's running, I think on an oval at least for sure, he'll get one this season, the way he's running. But yeah, 5 podiums, 8 top 5, like he's right there in the stats with these guys, so very good from him so far, and pretty cool from all these guys see this super close battle. So hopefully that goes throughout the season. And then we go to 7th Hunter with 94. And then Armada 8th with 82, but Hunter had an extra Triple Crown appearance. So Hunter has one more moto than Armada. So Hunter and Armada are actually pretty close for 7th and 8th. And then they're obviously missing a few motos, so they're going to be quite a bit back on these guys. And then we have Opix still in that 9th place spot, which is pretty impressive, to be honest. Coop picking up a few spots, 56. Vulcan not making it tonight, so him and Matt still point apart from each other. Real deal. Only the 1 start so far, 19. So there you go. There's the points. And again, nice to see. Obviously, want to reiterate. Don't get too excited about like these gaps. Obviously, the gaps for a few of these points positions are getting pretty big. But again, this series will have, I don't know the exact count off the top of my head, but it should have a pretty decent chunk of mulligans since it's just such a long season. But obviously, we're not factoring that in yet. So we won't get like too good of a look of what things are going to be like until we get to like round 12 even. It's going to be a while still. It's going to be a while. But really nice to see. I love this points battle for 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it's going to be really fun to watch this develop throughout the season too. So there you go. Let's take a look at the schedule as we round it out here. So next week, we're going to be going to Road America. And I also want to mention that I updated the heats. So with the changes with the heats being boosted in lap count a bit, updated the heats for all the tracks that we're able to do so far. So you see the heat races are a little bit longer. That's been updated, reflected in the schedule for all the tracks now. So all these, the heat races got a little bit of a boost. So you can see that there. But yeah, let's take a look. So Road America next week, and we'll take a little preview of October as well. Road America, Milwaukee Mile, Wisconsin Tour for the next couple weeks, Lafayette here, and then Watkins Glen rounding out the month. And then we'll kick off November with another Triple Crown at Iowa, so that'll be coming up there too. But yeah, 4 races in October, 2 road courses, an oval, and a street course. No Triple Crown. And again, next week in particular, going to be Road America, the one track that we've visited before on the schedule, the only one that can apply to. So pretty good start to the season. Looking forward to this next leg of the schedule. You guys like the recap? Hope that was informative. And I'll see you at Road America for some awesome road course racing action. Fuck you, Jared.